Well, your boy Trump, he is, still on his mass deportation kick. Now, Trump has just ordered that the temporary protection status for Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans be revoked by April 24th. Let's get into it. Now, the Trump administration will revoke the temporary legal status of 530,000 Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans in the United States, according to the Federal Register notice Friday. The latest expansion on his crackdown on immigration, saying the move effective April 24 cuts short a 2-year parole granted to the migrants under former President Joe Biden that allowed them to enter the country by air if they had U.S. sponsors. Now, Trump took steps to ramp up immigration enforcement after taking office, including a push to deport record numbers of migrants in the U.S. illegally. That the legal entry parole program, such launched under his Democratic predecessor, overstepped the boundaries of federal law and called for their termination in a January 20th executive order. Trump said on March 6th that he would decide very soon whether to strip the parole status from some 240,000 Ukrainians, the white folks, they say, who fled to the U.S. during the conflict with Russia. Trump's remarks came in response to a Reuters report that said his administration planned to revoke the status of Ukrainians as soon as April. Now, they say Biden launched a parole entry program for Venezuelans in 2022 and expanded to Cubans, Haitians, and Nicaraguans in 2023. And if Kamala Harris would have gotten office, this would have been continuing to go, right? And so as his administration grappled with high levels of illegal immigration from those nationalities, diplomatic and political relations between the four countries and the United States have been strained. And say the new legal pathways came as Biden tried to clamp down on illegal crossings at the U.S.-Mexico border. And say the Trump administration decision to strip the legal status from 500,000 migrants can make vulnerable to deportation if they choose to remain in the U.S. It remains unclear how many who entered the U.S. on parole now have another form of protection or legal status. It's a notice to formally publish in the Federal Register on Monday. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security said revoking the parole status will make it easier to place the migrants in a fast-track deportation process known as expedited removal. Now, they say under the Trump-era policy implemented in January, expedited removal can be applied to certain migrants in the U.S. for 2 years or less. We just wanted to go through that because, as you can see, Trump is still doing his thing. Trump is trying to get them on out of here. Now, the more and more Trump is getting people out of here, or even the threat of getting people out of here, you're going to hear a louder and louder cry that where are the FBAs? Why aren't you out here protesting? Look at what he's doing. Trump is so mean. Trump is so wrong. Trump is so evil. Aren't you guys seeing this? Aren't you guys going to say anything? Like, come on, black people. This is what you do. You stand up for people that's being marginalized. You stand up for the poor. Yes, that's what we do. And what do we get in return? Did we get respect? Did we get, when you get in political positions, do you say, you know what? Hey, I remember them FBAs what they did for my family. So let me go ahead and make sure them FBAs are good. Did y'all do that? No. See, what black people are doing right now is actually biblical, because when you come out from among them and separate yourself and you be in a position of rest, right? You be in a position of rest. It's quite okay. It's more than okay for us to stay in a position of rest, because we've told everybody, we've done everything we could to warn everybody about America in itself. And as long as we carried the weight of America, everybody was fine. Everybody was okay. But now, since FBAs have decided to sit down, now you're carrying the weight of America and you don't like it. Every group too. It's not just, the migrants, every group, the folks too. They protest, but nobody hear them. They see you, but nobody hear you. Why? Because FBAs aren't there. FBAs is the only people that can make your protests seem legitimate, because they know when we fight, we've been historically fighting for, justice, rights, equality, and all of that. They know that. And so when the cameras see FBA step on the scene and say, whoa, what's going on? Now this protest is legitimate because the FBAs are there. So you can protest every weekend and people will be like, nah. And that's what's frustrating them too, because they feel like, why is it that the FBAs, when they protest, every camera in the world is there? Everybody's interviewing them. But when we protest, nobody show up, or maybe CNN or somebody just kind of filming from a distance, or maybe, they flying a drone or something. I said, but they're not caring. They're not giving us wall-to-wall coverage like they did during George Floyd, because you don't know how to protest. Number two, what cause you really need to fight for? Okay, the things Trump is doing, that's just messing up your comfort. That's really what that is. Now, the migrants, I don't know why the migrants just thought they was going to come over here and just parlay for the rest of their life. And the interesting part, especially for a lot of people in Latin America, they will pass up so many Latin American countries who are actually doing pretty good to come here because they heard they can get free stuff. I would want to come to a country that I'm worried about getting deported. I'm like, nah, I'm going to go somewhere where I know I'll be good. Because I would want to get my life started. My life is going good. And all of a sudden now I'm getting arrested and deported. Man, no, I don't want to live like that. No, I don't like the looking over my shoulder every 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of life is that? So you can stay here in the United States, man? No. I'd rather stay in my homeland and fight, or if I'm gonna leave, I go somewhere that's good. I know I'm fine. And I surely wouldn't want to come with these folks, but you can't tell them nothing. They think these folks is like the Holy Grail, and they find out the hard way too about the folks. But Trump gonna get them on out of here. That's what he planning on doing. Expedited deportation, expedited. So you better believe on April 24th, he's trying to get them all out of this country. And you know what? Leave FBAs alone. It has nothing to do with us.